So this is part 2 of our facts on World War I. World War I, also known as the Great War, began in 1914 after the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria. His murder catapulted into a war across Europe that lasted until 1918. During the conflict, Germany, Austria-Hungary, both one country at the time, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire, or the Central Powers, fought against Great Britain, France, Russia, Italy, Romania, Canada, Japan, and the United States, or the Allied. Those were all the Allied powers. Thanks to new military technologies and the horse to trench warfare, World War I saw unprecedented levels of carnage and destruction. By the time the war was over and the Allied powers claimed victory, more than 16 million people, soldiers and civilians alike, were dead. Am I reading this whole thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Just the rest of that page.
So, some facts about Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Tensions had been brewing throughout Europe, especially in the troubled Balkan region of southeast Europe, for years, even before World War I actually broke out. A number of alliances involving European powers, the Ottoman Empire, Russia, and other parties had existed for years, but political instability in the Balkans, particularly Bosnia, Serbia, and Herzegovina, threatened to destroy these agreements. This spark that ignited World War I was struck in Sarajevo, Bosnia, where Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, was shot to death, along with his wife Sophie, by the Serbian nationalist Gavrilo Princip on June 28, 1914. Princip and other nationalists were struggling to end Austro-Hungarian rule over Bosnia and Herzegovina. The assassination of Franz Ferdinand set off a rapidly escalating chain of events. Austria-Hungary, like many countries around the world, blamed the Serbian government for the attack and hoped to use the incident as justification for settling the question of Serbian nationalism once and for all. Now some facts on Kaiser Wilhelm II. Because mighty Russia supported Serbia, Austria-Hungary waited to declare war until its leaders received assurance from German leader Kaiser Wilhelm II that Germany would support their cause. Austro-Hungarian leaders feared that a Russian intervention would involve Russia's ally, France, and possibly Great Britain as well. On July 5th, Kaiser Wilhelm secretly pledged his support, giving Austria-Hungary a so-called carte blanche, or blank check, assurance of Germany's backing in the case of war. The dual monarchy of Austria-Hungary then set an ultimatum to Serbia, with such harsh terms as to make it almost impossible to accept.
Okay. World War I begins. Convinced that Austria-Hungary was ready for war, the Serbian government ordered the Serbian army to mobilize and appealed to Russia for assistance. On July 28th, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, and the tenuous peace between Europe's great powers quickly collapsed. Within a week, Russia, Belgium, France, Great Britain, and Serbia had lined up against Austria-Hungary and Germany at World War I, and World War I had begun. The Western Front. According to an aggressive military strategy known as the
Schlieffen Plan.
The Schlieffen Plan, named for its mastermind, German Field Marshal Alfred von Stauffen. Germany began fighting World War I on two fronts, invading France through neutral Belgium in the west and confronting Russia in the east. On August 4, 1914, Germany troops crossed the border into Belgium in the First Battle of World War I, and the Germans assaulted the heavily fortified city of Liege. Is that how you pronounce it?
Liege.
Liege, using the most powerful weapon in their arsenal, enormous Sag cannons. To capture the city by August 15, the Germans left death and destruction in their wake as they advanced through Belgium toward France, shooting civilians and executing a Belgian priest they had accused of inciting civilian resistance. First Battle of Marne. Is that First Battle of Marne?
First Battle of Marne, yep. Sure.
Yeah. In the First Battle of the Marne, fought from September 6 and 9, 1914, French and British forces confronted the invading German army, which had been then penetrated deep into northeastern France with 30 miles superiors. The Allied troops tracked the German advance and mounted a successful counterattack, driving the Germans back to north of the Aisne River. Aisne River?
Aisne, I think.
Aisne.
Aisne, yeah.
Aisne River. The defeat meant the end of German plans for a quick victory in France. Both sides dug into trenches, and the Western Front was the setting for a hellish war of attrition.
Yeah, attrition, good job.
Attrition that would last more than 3 years. Particularly long and costly battles in this campaign were fought at Verdun, February-December 1916, and the Battle of Somme or Somme.
The Battle of the Somme.
Soma.
Or the Zoma, yeah.
July-November 1916, German and the French troops suffered close to 1 million casualties in the Battle of Verdun alone.
Yeah, you probably should end it there.
Yeah. World War I. Books and art.
You want to just end it there? It's already going pretty long.
Okay, we will get back to it tomorrow.
Part 3 tomorrow.
Yep. We haven't started this yet. We haven't even started this yet, so it's going to take a while.